Wow, are people still commenting on my worst transitions from Super Sentai list? For me, that's a big deal. So, let's give both sides some ground. The worst transitions list focused on MMPR because I think each incarnation of Power Rangers kind of has their own story of transitions. However, this time we are going to be more open and include multiple seasons. As such, there's a decent chance I'll leave out something you think should be on the list. So instead of complaining, kindly leave a comment of your own top 10. I always read every comment I get, but for now, let's do this. Most of you probably already know this, but just in case, let me quickly say that Super Sentai is the original show that Power Rangers uses the Ranger footage on, and puts their own take on it. Everyone seems to respond differently to what was changed. So, going off some collected opinions, and my own of course, I'm going to count down what I currently consider the top 10 things Power Rangers did better than Super Sentai. Sadly, I am fully aware that as both shows are going on, that something else is bound to happen that should be on the list, and while I have seen every Power Rangers, I haven't fully seen every Super Sentai season, so just bear with me for now. My one rule is that things done better must be specific, as in I won't put an entire season, even if I think it is better than the Sentai counterpart. I don't think it's fair because that implies that everything about the season is better, which, to be blunt, is ridiculous. Final warning, beware of spoilers. Number 10. No More Child of the Week. MMPR. In Zyurangers, a lot of screen time and character development was wasted on a random child in trouble every episode. MMPR does not have this and kept the focus on the main characters. I already covered this in my Versus episode between the two, so moving on. Number 9. Quatrons. From Power Rangers in Space. Remember those weird purple things that the Space Rangers fought in their training simulators? Those were the main foot soldiers in the Sentai counterpart Mega Rangers called Soldiers Kun-Kun. In Space had original ones called Quatrons, which looked much cooler. Not the first or last time the Small Fry Power Rangers were original, but my personal favorite. Number 8. Anubis Doggy Kruger's costume. Simplest explanation, as I think the picture says it all. The two Doggy Krugers are both serious and cool characters, but Deca Rangers is difficult to take seriously looking like a plush toy, which is extra funny given Power Rangers' history of having inferior costume quality. Number 7. SPD Ace Squad. This gang gets a lot of hate based entirely on the costumes. I know, they have the reused in-space helmets and the body is just reused BMX equipment. Budget was very low, but I don't care about that. What I do care about is that the concept of multiple Ranger teams leaves a lot of doors open for storytelling. I really like the concept of the B Squad being the Rangers that worked for their position rather than being chosen ones, and the idea of elite Rangers voluntarily turning evil. My big problem with them, which keeps them on the low end of the list, is not their costumes, but simply the lack of use from them. Number 6. Rancic, the sympathetic villain. Power Rangers Time Force. A mutant discriminated by society, ultimately pushing him into the life of a villain. A much stronger story than the Godfather parody we got from Time Rangers, Don Del Nero. Number 5. RPM mixture of drama and humor. Okay, this is pretty close to pushing the entire season, but it's really not. It's just focusing on the writing. Power Rangers RPM. While its Sentai counterpart Go Ongers had good humorous moments, RPM was still able to make you laugh while keeping up its dark post-apocalyptic story, which is quite the accomplishment. Number 4. Titanium Ranger. Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. Who was my favorite Sentai hero? Gokai Silver. Who was my favorite Power Ranger? Titanium Ranger. And not just because he's a Power Rangers original. Yes, Go-Go 5 didn't have a 6th Ranger. They had an extra hero that only appeared in a movie, Beast Demon Hunter Zeke, which was cool enough, but this new Ranger not only set his place in history as the first Power Rangers exclusive Ranger, but also had one of the best told story arcs I've seen in any Power Rangers or Sentai. Much better done than just a one movie thing. Number 3. Cam, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. Green Samurai Ranger Cam was a main character from the start who very openly was jealous that he didn't get chosen to be a Ranger. His character had time to build, making it satisfying when he finally achieved his dreams. Azuka Kagura, the Shurikenger from Hurricangers. He's a cool character, but we don't really get to know who he is until near the end of the season, which isn't quite as engaging. Number 2. Lord Zed. It's not enough just to be an original villain, otherwise Sledge would be on this list. But how could I not include the Dark Vader Snake hybrid from seasons 2 and 3 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? He was scary, he presented a real threat, and is to this day one of my all-time favorite villains. And before we get to number 1, let's give a quick few honorable mentions. Not all, but just the ones I could think of. Bulk and Skull. I love them, but too much mixed reception. Unmorphed fights. Better in some seasons, not better in all, so can't really do that. Tommy is the White Ranger. Originally this was on the list because the Kid Ranger thing reminded me of Justin too much, but they actually did a pretty decent job with Q's character development. And of course, various favorite Rangers. If I included every Ranger I thought was better than its Sentai counterpart, that'd be the entire list, so I limited it to just a couple. Now, number 1. What's the best thing done better? Magna Defender's tragic story from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Magna Defender had a Sentai counterpart called Black Knight, a less creative name, but that doesn't matter. Both had similar stories with Mike and Hyuga, and a quest for vengeance from their planet and lost loved one. However, one big difference is the victim changing from Black Knight's younger brother to Magna Defender's son. This change made Magna Defender a favorite among fathers, and also made a good amount of the Japanese audience favor Lost Galaxy over Ginga Man. To me, that just says he has to be number 1. So there's my top 10. Do you agree? Do you disagree? All opinions are correct, but until next time, this is Sendu of Light Studios, your Red Emerald Ranger, signing out.